think it's really is going to be gorgeous. You guys, we're going to be near record for our afternoon highs. So it really is going to be unseasonably warm once again, and just a great, delightful day to get out and about. And it's the 4th weekend in a row, so it's making my job easy. I'm not going to lie. Let's look at
thermals for this time of year, 50 and 39. By 8 o'clock, it's a sunny start, mild and 60 by noon, with a forecast high of 60, 40.
Upper 50s after sunset. I'll have the AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. There are some changes as we go back to the work week, but the weekend does look good. Bill? Upper...
If, at any point ever, life could have been supported there.
Really looks like it, kind of, you know?
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, interesting. A little cool out today, but...
Yeah, I mean, really, it's as good as it gets for this time of year. That's all I can say. It's as good as it gets.
I didn't wear a jacket this morning, and then when I listened to the radio, I heard how nice it was going to be. It was
absolutely gorgeous. Don't
amazing.
be cheating on me, Phil. You're listening to the radio?
you and I don't drive in together, Amy, so I have to listen to the forecast.
All right, good morning, everybody. As we get started this morning, the rumors are true. Let me confirm. It is going to be a warm one across the area. We're talking mid-60s, and that's near record territory for this time of year. So it's on. Spring in November is just about the only way to describe it. Gorgeous weather.
There's a lot of sunshine, and right now outside our studios, folks are walking by, and some of them with these very light jackets, because we're at 50 degrees right now in New York City. Overnight lows hardly fell into the 40s in many locations, and then we had those isolated spots where we got into the 30s, but those areas mainly, their geography contributes to the weather.
How low their numbers go, and so they typically get the coolest for the overnight periods. We'll talk about that. 50 degrees right now in the city. So we held on to the heat from yesterday pretty well, even though we had mostly clear skies out. Look at the temperature trend. Here's where we are today, so well above the average. But if we go back all the way this week, we've been above that average line since last weekend. It's been mild. It was very warm for the middle part of the week. So this trend that we've had for above normal temperatures has been with us for the last week. Looks like it's going to continue at least for the next couple of days before we get some changes and it's back to reality. So we'll take it while we can get it. Low 40s for Northport, Massapequa, and Hauppauge. East Hampton, 52. Great Neck currently has 49. Now the cool spots, Poughkeepsie, Andover, and also down in the Pine Barrens, Toms River is below freezing. Now under clear skies, they easily have their temperatures drop at night. Just lets the warmth of the day escape into the atmosphere, so that's why they're a little cooler. Their record is 67. We'll go for a forecast high of 64 today. Our sunshine today will be less than it was yesterday, but the 60s are going to stick around right through Sunday. Any rain that does develop on Monday is very light. The wetter weather is going to hold off until Tuesday. So right now, New York City, pretty much one of the warmest spots on the map. We're battling with Syracuse, which has 50 right now as well. But really mild conditions for us here in the Northeast over this holiday weekend. A few clouds come and go throughout the day today, but nothing stops the mild conditions. How many clouds we get will determine just how high our temperatures go. So we may fall short of that record by just a few degrees, but we're going to get close. There's the big front that brings the big changes, and that happens late on Sunday, and then the early part of the work week we'll start to notice the changes. So another beauty. The forecast calling for a high of 64 today. Tonight falling back into the low 50s, while 40s for the suburbs. Tomorrow it's a sun-cloud mix, but still very mild. Temperatures in the low 60s.
For the 5-day forecast, this is where you'll see the change coming. 60s today and tomorrow, and then we fall to 50s on Monday, but that's still on the warm side of average. Tuesday, that's reality for November. 50 degrees, and then it's brisk and cool by the middle of next week. So that front will usher in some changes, but until then, enjoy this weather for the 5-day.
4th weekend in a row where our temperatures have been easy to take, and the sky conditions have really cooperated for anything you want to do outdoors.
I'm almost embarrassed of that big suede coat that I wore this morning.
You're gonna be hot in it right now today.
Putting it on anyway.
All right, well, I'm right here when you need me.
Just for the record, you are my favorite female meteorologist at this station.
Cleaning it up.
I love it. All right, see you guys.
Amy. Straight ahead on Eyewitness.
4th.
The sun begins to rise over Manhattan. It is November 26th, Saturday morning. Thanks so much for spending part of it with us. I'm Phil Lippoff. And I'm Tony Yates. I'm sitting in for Michelle Charles. Welcome to Eyewitness News Saturday morning. And it's a beautiful morning. Meteorologist Amy Freeze here now to tell us how wonderful the rest of the day is going to be. We're talking late November, and we're talking 60s.
Yes, and even that,
near the records for this time of year. Our normal high temperature is 50 degrees. We're going to be pushing that number about 15 degrees warmer as we get into the afternoon, and that will put us in the near record territory. The record for the state is 67, set back in 1946, and we're going to get pretty close to that. It'll depend on how much cloud coverage we actually get developing across the area, but it's possible. It is possible. Sunrise time this morning is 6:55. Outside right now, just beautiful. Everything looks very calm and peaceful. The skies are going to be absolutely gorgeous through the afternoon. Right now, it's 50 degrees in New York City. The humidity, 50%. Barometer is falling. The number that we see right there with that temperature, that's the actual normal high for this time of year. So we're going to soar easily above the normals for today and even again tomorrow. We're in the 40s for Newark, Belmar. Islip has 42 on Long Island. Montauk at the tip has 52. Poughkeepsie and Andover cooler in the mid-30s. No major storms to speak of. In fact, we'll wait for a cold front late Sunday night to Monday. Bring some changes in the forecast. So the plan breaks down like this. 8 o'clock, low 50s. By noon, we're at 60 degrees, and then no coast this afternoon. 64 the expected high. All the rest of the action with our 5-day forecast coming out in just a few minutes. So
The sun begins roads and no way to tell which way to turn. After several crashes, troopers worked to close the highways to prevent any more accidents from happening. You can barely see that house there.
I experienced that. I lived in Idaho Falls for 2 years. My first job was out there.
Does that just naturally kind of occur every now and again?
Yeah, not often, but yeah, when it gets bad because everything's so flat and it just comes right across, and you can't see anything. You're looking at me, what do you want to know about Idaho?
No, that's true. I was just going to ask you because you'd lived there for a while. That's exactly what I wanted to ask you. That's a lot more typical of what you'd see down in the desert.
Yes.
And a lot of people think out west in Idaho, and they do think of higher elevations, but there in Idaho Falls, it's very, very flat.
Right.
Topography.
And beautiful. Have you ever been to the Falls area, right where there's a huge Mormon temple right behind them? It's gorgeous.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Speaking of gorgeous, it's exactly what we've got around here. Beautiful sky conditions as the sun comes up just before 7. It is going to be another splendid day. And the road.
Right. We're getting so lucky on the weekend. This is number 4 in a row with the winter in the forecast. Looking over the park right now, gorgeous. If you're not at a TV set, sneak over and look at the sky. Absolutely, really impressive to see the sun coming up with different colors across the sky. Absolutely gorgeous. All right.
Enough bragging about our weather. We need to get down to business. From RFK, looking from Queens into the city, you can see beautiful pinks and blues all across the area. Our humidity right now at 50%. The west winds are light. The pressure is on the rise. Morning low so far in the city has been 49. Now, there are some cooler spots north and west. Newark, low 40s. But once we get into Teterboro, 38 for you, Caldwell, 35, Morristown, 32, so right around the freezing point there. Andover, 33, Milford has 37, Highbridge, 35. So those are where we see some of the cooler numbers. But out on Long Island, Islip, 42, and Montauk already up to 52. As the sun comes up, everybody gets warm. The headlines that we're looking at are near record temperatures. 67 is the number in the history books. That was set back in 1946. Tomorrow, our sunshine sort of shrinks down. We'll have a few more clouds around, but the 60s do stick. So we get today and tomorrow in the 60s. Any rain that comes in on Monday is light. We're looking for a bigger storm coming in on Tuesday. Where's all the cold and all the wet weather? It's been back to the west. Storm came across the mountains, producing some nice skiing weather for folks back west. Now the front is making its way across the plains. That's also where the cold weather is locked up. So this is the front right here between the green and the blue. We're looking at a big temperature difference from Denver at 27 to St. Louis at 57. That 30-degree spread, that's the frontal boundary, and that cold air is going to be held back until the front comes through. It eventually makes its way through the tri-state. Sunday night to Monday, even into Tuesday, we see this transition from the 60s back down to the 40s. Reality will be here. All right, futurecast, there it is. That line of rain that by 2 o'clock this afternoon makes its way through Chicago and then Cincinnati. Unfortunately, a lot of people traveling home on Sunday are going to run into this big front with a lot of rain. But for us, I think it only produces a few light showers, maybe even sprinkles on Monday. And we wait for the larger rain to come in here on Tuesday, late on Tuesday night. So temperatures today are in the 60s, easy to take. You can leave the jacket at home, but don't forget the sunglasses. It's going to be a nice one. Another beauty, sunny and warm, 64 the high tonight, going down to the low 50s.
40s in the suburbs, but wow, those overnight temperatures are more like daytime highs for this time of November, for this measure of the calendar. All right, AccuWeather, the 5-day forecast, 60s today and tomorrow, upper 50s on Monday. We're still on the warm side of average. Then the rain coming in on Tuesday night, that looks like it'll be the heaviest rain in that 5-day stretch. So we could get a shower on Monday, not a real big deal, it's just a little sprinkle. And then Tuesday we feel the rain. It's brisk and cool by Wednesday. and then we're back to boots. Until then, it really is going to be beautiful. 4 weekends in a row, the timing's been just right with this weather.
I remember Thanksgiving where we had so much food that didn't fit into the refrigerator. It was so cold, we just set it out on the deck.
Right.
Right.
This isn't exactly scientific, but over the weekend, yesterday actually, I bought a snowblower. You know what that means?
No snow all winter.
Mark my words. Last winter was brutal without it, so with being snow, now I have it. We're going to have a light winter, so you can thank me for that later. Still to come is the latest.
Corey's in the... They didn't call me marshmallow sometimes.
My first name's Hosan. When you're little, everyone goes like, oh, this and that.
Oh, they used to call me Honey Mayonnaise.
It's not easy having a name that's easy to make fun of. Believe me, I know. Everybody was teased about something, whether it was their first name or their last name. And take my photographer, for instance, Mark. His last name is Van Scheck. I'm not even going to tell you what the kid said about him. When I asked about having a difficult name on my Facebook page, the response was immediate and honest. John says Canary was no walk in the park. Harry, etc. Oh, you must sing good. Too many to list. No wonder my Aunt Mary is the way she is. Stephen writes, here's mine, Phil. My last name is Drop. Cough drop, drip drop, etc. Can you say therapy? When you heard my last name for the first time, did you think it was funny?
No, I didn't.
No?
I know what that is. I would have said, can I take your lips off, please?
Yeah. You know, I got that one in 3rd grade. Good thing I'm not alone, though. Here's Mom Lip Off from Florida via FaceTime on the iPhone.
When I tell people our last name, they never understand. So I finally say, it's lip off. It's like taking your lip off, only with one F.
It gets a bit better, though, as you get older. But with certain names, it is a constant battle. Just ask John Jarber. Nobody could pronounce it, so they just switched it to Jabbar, and I just stuck with it because it's a lot easier. So now he's John Jabbar. He literally changed the way he pronounces his own last name to make his life easier. And I know there are many of you out there who can relate to that. Early on in my career, I actually had a boss ask me to change my name to something less unique, is what he said. It was then that I realized my father gave me that name to father. Then that, like, something to be proud of, even if people tease you, no matter how funny it gets. And besides, everyone gets teased. Everyone. I talked to meteorologist Jeff Smith, told me he was teased because his name was too generic. Very generic. So you can't win. If you want to tell us about what's bugging you, just head to it online or find me on Facebook or Twitter, hashtag what's bugging you, right where you post, you can wind up on air and we can... This segment without chatting with meteorologist Andy Freeze.
Okay, Lippy.
You wanted to go back and forth with that, didn't you?
Yeah.
What'd you get? You got all sorts of stuff, right?
The antifreeze, Freezinator.
Yeah. Other things that we'll leave out.
I was going to give the one up, Tasty Freeze.
Yeah.
And, you know, many. Some I liked, but others I didn't. Frostbite was one that was always a little aggressive.
That's a good one. But it is your real name.
It's my real name,
There you
yes.
go. So you own it is what you do. You own it.
There you go.
That's true.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back, sports with Laura Binky. Stay with us.